Hello and welcome. So today I'm making a PJ top. Easy enough. I'm doing one of those secret support shelf things. So I've cut out from an existing t-shirt just a basic vest shape. Now the way I did, how much fabric do I need to do that, is I put on an old t-shirt and I marked it with a bit of tailor's chalk, took off the shirt, and then I marked it with a pin so that I could measure how much fabric I need. Now I'm going to sew it on, a budget sewing machine, as I like to do all my videos. And yeah, what else have I got here? I've got the elastic and I've got 4 pieces of fabric. Now the stitch I'm choosing to do is, I'm not using the overlocker stitch in the machine because I don't find it works very well, and what it doesn't seem to do on my machine, might on yours, is give a crisp edge to the fold. It gives like a zigzag stitch, and I suppose in a way it is. So I'm going to do the one that couple of stitches zigzag, couple of stitches zigzag. It's a lot stronger stitch as well. And it does give me the option of I'm going to defold this so that this is on the outside, and if I've got a nice crisp seam there, it's going to look neater than if I've got just a zigzag stitch. I'm not going to get a nice sharp edge. And on this machine it does give you the option of going inwards in that way or inwards in that way. So, it's just a better option for me. Saying that, if you've got an overlocker stitch and it works on your machine, because I know I've got like a 40-year-old Fista Rossa as well, which you'll see sometimes. It is a bit of a favourite machine, and the overlocker is great. This is t-shirt fabric, so it doesn't fray, so I don't have to worry too much. Alright, I think I'm waffling really. Whatever you've got, do it. What we're doing is we're going to cover the seams anyway, so you can just use a running stitch. I've put the stitch a bit smaller, and all I'm going to do on the edges that go around the outside, like the armpit holes, is I'm going to join these 2 bits of fabric together using, well, whatever stitch I like really. Okay, I am going to use the sort of half overlocker stitch, and because this seam is going to be showing from that way, I'm going to change the machine that way. Alright? No, I hope it is. Sometimes I don't know what I'm thinking, but then I watch it back and it kind of makes sense. So all I'm doing, literally, following the fabric. Now this is the front. I know it's the front because it goes down a bit further than the back. Oh, another thing I do, which might not be right, is when I'm cutting from an existing garment, don't forget your hem allowance, but I always cut 2 backs and then I trim the front. Yeah? Yeah. And that could be sheer laziness. Alright, so I've done this seam, and what's going to happen is it's going to fold over. There we go. So the stitches are all hidden, and yeah, I'm going to put some elastic around there. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the same stitch on the armpits, and I'm going to do the same stitch on both armpits. I don't know why I told you that. And then I'm going to do the same on the back. Okay, so we've just literally hemmed the outer seams. Alright, then I'll switch back on again, and then we're just going to sew the body together really. Yeah, it's quite simple. It really is simple, but it's simple. Okay, so I've done one half, the front half, and what I've done is I always sew on the inside, so if there's any puckering, then it will be on the inside, not the outside. Alright, so just, there won't be any puckering when you sew it, I'm sure. So let me show you what this looks like. So when I finished it, that's an armhole. I won't pull it. It just looks like a straight bit of fabric. So I turned it inside out and it didn't look crisp and lovely. So all I did was give it a little shake and then I did a row of top stitches. And it was a case of, if I was making this for a friend, I would want a row of top stitches. Yeah, but I should be my own best friend. So yeah, it now has a row of top stitches on my top. Alright, I've just unthreaded my sewing machine. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so that's now done. So I've got a front and a back piece. Next question. How am I going to sew these together? I can just use the overlock. So all I would then do is put them right side to right side and just do the overlock stitch, and that would be fine. I could even just do a running stitch. It's not going to fray. They get a bit dusty, not dusty, soft and curly. Soft and curly after a couple of washes, but that's fine. That's fine. That's even better. You know, it's PJs. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to do a French seam. So I'm going to turn it inside to inside, so I'm sewing on the right side. I'm going to run a line of stitches through the support top, join those two together, and then I'm going to join the two main bodies of the top. So it's going to be a long. When I come over the seam for the arm, I'm going to make sure that these two seams match up. That'll just give a better look to the finished garment. And then I'm going to sew as close to the edge as I dare. And then I'm going to so you can see at the bottom I've gone a bit askew. Just give that a trim. And I'm going to double check my seam on the armpit. And this is going to be quite bulky when I fold it over, so I'm just going to give it a trim now. Okay. All I was doing there was cutting off the excess threads. So now I can fold it over, and now I'm going to hide that seam with a row of stitches. Now it's going to be a lot more comfortable to wear than having an overlock. And yes. So I've just sewn the inside just to show you what that looks like. So that's what it looks like from the outside, which will just be the inside of the garment. And there we go. So yeah, it's not going to be too bad. It's not going to rub or anything. Okay, so I think I've got to do that before I do the top bit. So I'm going to stop the camera again, and I'm going to get both seams done, so I'll end up with a long thing. Yeah, and then we'll turn it inside out and we'll do these top seams here. Alright. Hi. Okay, so I've done that. I've now got quite a long tube. Alright. So what's next? Alright, I'm going to do these shoulder straps. Now I think that French seam will be uncomfortable, bulky, too bulky there. And I think the overlocker seam will be too untidy. I really do. Anyway, so I'm going to turn this inside out. I'm going to place one seam lower than the other. I'm going to sew that. I'm going to rethread my machine. I guess I can stop the camera and start again. Okay. Yeah, I'd like you to know that I'm human. Alright, so I'm going to do a running stitch over the top there, and the fabric's placed like that. So, it's good. And it's inside out, okay? Now I'm going to take this top one and fold it over the bottom one and straighten it out, and then I'm going to do a running stitch along this fold. I'm using the lower piece of fabric as a support for the fold so that I can really easily tuck it in. So that's that, and then I'm going to do a run of stitches. Yeah, so machine's complaining, which is fine. And then if I get sometimes it kicks out the threads at the corner, just tucking it in there. So that's easy enough. Now there's a lot of material underneath there, so that's why it's been a bit complaining. But so this is what it looks like on the outside. I've got the seam and a row of stitches, and on the inside it just looks like a double seam on a jean or something. Turn that the right way round. Whew. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm concentrating. So, now I'm on the shelf. I've got a piece of elastic. I've already measured it. It's perfect. And what I've done is, so it's flat again, I've done an N. Just sewn an N, and that's to keep it flat. Just going to, for my own benefit, find the back and the front. So this is the back. So what I can do, I can either fold it over once and do a row of stitches, or fold it over twice if I want to be really pedantic. And I have been really pedantic over the rest of the garment, so you'd think I'd be pedantic over this, but I don't know, this really is the inside. So all I'm going to do is place that in the machine, and I'm going to do a couple of stitches, leave the needle down. Now I do that quite a lot, and it's like my thinking time. So, okay, yeah, and I really need to. I'm going to have a look and see what sort of stretch there is on this, and if there's a lot of stretch, you know, there's a lot of fabric to take up, I'm going to mark it halfway. Now it's not too bad actually, so I'm not going to worry. You know, sometimes you've got like a little bit of elastic and you've got a lot of cloth, and then I would pin it every quarter, and then I would pin it so it's every eighth, and then I would pin those in half if it's really lots of fabric. But you can see I've got this much stretch to pick up this much fabric, so I'm quite lucky. It's quite an easy sew. So I'm still on a running stitch, and I am just making sure that I'm catching the fabric. Alright, I've just taken the pin out, and I've kept hold of exactly where both should meet. So can show you what that looks like on the inside. Yeah, I'm not worried, okay? I know I could worry, and I seem to have worried about everything else, but I'm not going to worry. Okay, so just going to make sure that I've got enough elastic and fabric. So all I did there was I measured to the seam, and I know that's 1/4 of the way. So I've got to stretch on the elastic to the point of the seam. There we go. And this is the inside of the garment. So alright, next job. Last job actually. All I need to do is hem the bottom. Now because of, you know, this garment's been turned inside out and everything else like that, and the sewing machine pushes it. Not very good at cutting out. I'm quite lazy. So fold it once, fold it twice. And that's just to put that all in there. Then literally the garment is finished. I did the other shoulder whilst when I threaded the needle, so yes, I think it's over-engineered. But this is how you do it properly, okay? Yes. Yeah, this must be quite boring for you. Okay, yeah, yes, I'm going to go. Please like and subscribe. Let's see. No, still the wrong way around. There we go. So that's the finished PJ top, a vest with a support shelf. And I mean, you know, that's okay. If I was making this in satin, then I'd have to do it like this. Oh, well, I'd have to do it, and I'd have to put a little hem in there as well, so, oh no. Alright, hope I haven't wasted your time. And I'll see you again soon.